When I was a child, a fish seller came into our yard. He said, "Ma'am, I live by the river and eat fish all year round. I'd like to trade some fish for rice." He opened the wooden bucket, revealing it was half full of live fish. My grandma said, "My husband goes fishing often, so we don't lack fish. If you want rice, I can offer you a bowl of cooked rice. You can keep your fish." She served him a bowl of rice. After finishing the meal, the fish seller repeatedly thanked her and added, "Ma'am, you're kind. So, I'll be honest with you, someone in your house will die." My grandma was surprised and asked, "Die?" The fish seller nodded and said, "I've been fishing in the river for years and have seen strange things. Tonight, a water ghost will come to your house. No matter what happens, do not open the door." My grandma looked at him in confusion. Before leaving, he warned her again. Water ghosts can't catch live fish, only dead ones. If you meet someone selling dead fish, don't talk to him. After giving his warning, the fish seller left. My grandma wasn't sure whether to believe him. When night fell, my grandpa came back from fishing by the river with half a pound of small fish. My grandma told him what had happened. Grandpa scoffed and said, "I've been fishing my whole life and never seen a water ghost. That guy's a con man. Not talk to anyone selling dead fish? What a joke. Live fish don't stay alive for long after being caught." My grandma said, "He didn't seem like a bad person or a liar." My grandpa scoffed again. He ate a bowl of our rice, didn't pay, and didn't give us any fish. If that's not a scam, what is? Which part of his story sounds true? My grandma frowned, but said nothing. My grandpa snorted, sat down, and started smoking his pipe. He had barely taken 2 puffs when I heard someone calling from outside the gate. "Fresh fish for sale!" The fish seller was outside the yard, calling out several times. My grandpa frowned. Why hasn't he left yet? I'll go chase him away. He stood up, ready to drive the man off. My grandma quickly grabbed his arm and said, "Don't go. Let him call if he wants. It's been raining for days. The air is heavy with moisture. I'm afraid it might really be a water ghost." My grandpa snorted. It just got dark. How could it be a water ghost? He shoved my grandma aside and went straight to the gate, opening it wide. Outside stood a skinny man, wrapped tightly from head to toe, only his eyes showing, reeking of fish. The man carried a shoulder pole, with 2 large fish hanging from either end. Each fish was fat and long, at least a meter, but the fish were dead, their eyes red clearly dead for days. My grandpa's eyes widened at the sight. He had never caught fish that big before. Seeing my grandpa dazed, the fish seller chuckled dryly and said, "Sir, would you like to buy some fish?" My grandpa replied, "They're dead. They're worthless." The seller nodded repeatedly. "Sir, I don't want any money. Just do me a favor." My grandpa was about to speak, but my grandma pulled him back and said to the seller, "We don't want the fish. Go sell them elsewhere." As my grandma tried to close the gate, the fish seller grabbed one side of the wooden door, stopping her from shutting it. In a cold voice, he asked, "A fish seller already came here, didn't he? He said I'm a water ghost and told you not to speak to me, didn't he?" My grandma froze, unable to respond. Seeing her silence, the fish seller continued, "We both fish from the same river. He's jealous that I catch big fish, so he goes around spreading rumors that I'm a water ghost. His lies are ruining my business." My grandpa and grandma exchanged glances, both visibly puzzled. My grandpa frowned and asked, "Where did you catch these fish?" The seller replied, "Not caught netted. You can't catch fish this big with a rod." My grandpa continued, "Where did you net them?" The seller said, "At the river, at the foot of the mountain. Every time it rains, big fish appear." My grandpa frowned deeper. I've fished that river. Never seen fish this big." The fish seller smiled. "Sir, I make a living selling fish. Of course, I have my ways. If you want to catch big fish, I can take you, but on one condition." My grandpa asked, "What condition?" The seller said, "I live by the river and eat fish year-round. I want to trade fish for some rice." Hearing this, my grandma's expression changed. Noticing my grandma's face darken, the seller added, "Ma'am, don't be scared. All of us who live by the river want to trade fish for rice. Am I wrong to guess that's what he said too?" My grandma nodded. "Yes, he asked for rice too." My grandpa's eyes darted around as he said, "I'll give you a bowl of rice tomorrow night. Take me to catch big fish." The seller nodded with a smile. "Deal." My grandpa invited him into the yard. The fishy stench coming from him was intense and foul. My grandma served him a bowl of cooked rice. The seller said, "Ma'am, could I have a bowl of raw rice? I've got others at home I want to bring it to." My grandpa's face instantly darkened. "No, a whole bowl is too much. Half a bowl at most. A bowl of raw rice is very different from a bowl of cooked rice." The fish seller squinted and said, "Half a bowl then." My grandma packed half a bowl of raw rice into a bag for him. The seller took the rice, smiled at my grandpa, and said, "Sir, it'll be heavy rain tonight. Tomorrow at midnight, I'll come get you to catch big fish." My grandpa squinted and said, "How about you don't leave? Stay the night here. Tomorrow at midnight, we'll go fishing together." My grandpa didn't trust him, afraid he'd run off with the rice and never take him fishing. The seller let out a harsh laugh, his shoulders trembling. All right, I'll stay the night." As soon as he finished speaking, a loud boom of thunder rang out, and torrential rain poured down. My grandpa said, "Quick! Inside!" We all rushed into the east room. Our house had 2 rooms, east and west. My grandpa insisted the fish seller stay with us in the east room so he couldn't sneak off. The 4 of us squeezed together on the heated brick bed. My grandpa asked him, "Aren't you going to take off your clothes?" The fish seller replied, "I get cold easily. I always sleep fully dressed." My grandpa snorted. Strange. Then he laid down and fell asleep. The fish seller lay next to me, his fishy stench overwhelming. I crawled closer to my grandma to stay away from him. The rain outside grew heavier, with strong winds blowing. The next morning, the entire yard was covered in dead fish, big and small, at least hundreds of them. A foul stench filled the air. My grandpa used a shovel to load the dead fish onto the donkey cart and dumped them into the river. It took 3 trips to clear them all, but the yard still reeked. My grandpa said, "What the hell? Where did all these dead fish come from?" My grandma said, "Maybe the wind blew them in." Strange indeed. My grandpa frowned deeply, clearly annoyed. "Where's that fish seller?" "I don't see him," my grandma said. "Neither do I." My grandpa grumbled, "That bastard must have run off." He searched the whole house, but found no trace of the seller. Furious, he cursed. "Damn it. Swindled me out of half a bowl of rice. If I ever catch that fish seller again, I'll break his legs." My grandma tried to calm him down. "Forget it. Consider it money spent to avoid disaster. That seller didn't seem like a good person anyway. Good riddance." My grandpa growled. "Scammers! All fish sellers are scammers!" Just as he finished speaking, another fish seller appeared at our gate. It was the one who'd come the previous day asking for rice. He rushed into the yard, anxiously saying, "It's bad, ma'am. Didn't I tell you not to open the door? Why did you let the water ghost in?" My grandpa immediately grabbed the shovel to hit him. The fish seller backed away, shouting, "Sir, what are you doing? I'm here to save you!" My grandpa snapped, "Bullshit. You're both liars. You scammed a bowl of cooked rice. He scammed half a bowl of raw rice. You bastards, I'll beat you both to death." The seller frowned and said, "Sir, you've been tricked by the water ghost. The living eat cooked rice, the dead eat raw rice. He's a water ghost. Of course he wanted raw rice." My grandpa's face changed. "Bastard, what are you trying to say?" The seller explained. "I've seen this water ghost. He tricks people into going to the river at the foot of the mountain and drowns them. Did he tell you to meet him at midnight to catch big fish?" My grandpa said, "He did, but he already ran off. That fishing nonsense was all lies." The seller shook his head. "He's a water ghost. He can't leave the water for long. During the day when it's hot, he returns to the river. But at night, he'll come ashore to find you. Sir, trust me. Don't go fishing with him, or he'll drag you into the water." My grandpa's face turned grim. "If you've got such skills, then stay and help catch the water ghost. Once we catch him, I'll believe you." The seller shook his head. "Sir, I'm just a fish seller, an ordinary man. How could I dare catch a water ghost? You haven't seen what he looks like. It's terrifying." My grandma said he was completely covered up. "We never saw his face." The seller sighed. "Ma'am, get some tears from a yellow ox. Tonight, drip them into your eyes, and you'll see what the water ghost really looks like. Then you'll know if I've lied." After saying this, he continued, "I have to go. I can't afford to mess with the water ghost. You're on your own." With that, he left. My grandpa frowned and grumbled, "Bad luck." My grandma sighed. "I'll go to Juan Perez's place to get some yellow ox tears. If the water ghost really comes, we'll go seek Aaron's help." My grandma went to Juan's house and soon returned with the yellow ox tears. She smiled. "What luck." I ran into Juan just as he was bringing the cattle home. She dripped the ox tears into my grandpa's eyes, then into her own. There was still a bit left in the bottle. I said, "Grandma, I want the yellow ox tears too." Grandma replied, "No, you're too young to see unclean things." After saying that, she poured the last 2 drops of yellow ox tears onto the ground. By nightfall, it was completely dark. My grandpa and grandma sat on the heated bed, peering through the window toward the yard gate, waiting for the fish seller to appear. But a long time passed, and the fish seller never showed up. My grandpa stomped his feet in frustration. "Damn it, that fish seller's a liar. He took half a bowl of rice and ran off." My grandma said, "Better a liar than a water ghost." Just as she finished speaking, the fish seller's voice came from the gate. "Sir, come out quick. There are big fish tonight." We could hear his voice but saw no one. The gate was made of wood and quite low. Normally, if the fish seller stood there, we would see him. My grandpa frowned and asked, "Wife, do you see him?" My grandma answered, "No." Again, the fish seller's voice called from the gate. "Sir, come out quick. There are big fish tonight." My grandpa shouted toward the yard. "Where are you? Why can't I see you?" The fish seller replied, "Sir, I'm right here at the gate. Look carefully." My grandparents leaned against the window, looking toward the gate. My grandpa said, "It really is the fish seller." Grandma nodded. "He even shows his face. Not a water ghost." The fish seller said, "Sir, open the door quickly." My grandpa answered, "Coming." Then he got off the bed. I crept to the window and looked toward the gate. The moment I saw, I froze in terror. Standing at the gate was not a person, it was a male corpse. His face was severely decayed, crawling with water bugs. Both his eyes had fallen out, leaving only 2 dark holes. I cried, "Grandpa, don't go, he's not alive!" My grandpa paused for a few seconds. "Nonsense. Your grandma and I both see it's the fish cellar. Grandma nodded. It's just a fish cellar, not a water ghost. She hugged me and said, Luke, you're seeing it wrong. I said, No, I'm not. That's a corpse at the gate. He's the water ghost. Right after I spoke, the fish seller's voice came again from outside. Sir, if you don't come out now, I'll leave. If we're late, there'll be no fish left. My grandpa replied, Coming, coming. Then he entered the yard and even fetched the fishing net and rod from the shed. I shouted, Grandma, don't let Grandpa go. That's a water ghost. Breaking free from my grandma's arms, I rolled off the bed and ran into the yard. I saw Grandpa had already opened the gate. I screamed, Grandpa, come back! He's a water ghost! The fish seller turned to look at me. Though he had no eyes, just those two black holes staring at me made me shiver. The fish seller said, Sir, if you don't come, I'll go catch the fish myself. With that, he turned to leave. Grandpa quickly followed, saying, I'll go with you. If we catch big fish, I'll even give you another half-pound of rice. I tried to pull Grandpa back, but Grandma held me tight. She said, Luke, be good. Your grandpa's going to catch big fish. He'll cook some for you when he returns. I cried, Grandma, Grandpa went with the water ghost. Grandma froze for a few seconds. Impossible! Both your grandpa and I put yellow ox tears in our eyes. They reveal unclean things. We saw no water ghost, I said. But I saw him. He's soaking wet. Just then, Juan passed by with his cattle and smiled. What's going on? Why is he crying? Grandma forced a smile. Nothing. Just upset because Grandpa didn't take him fishing. Juan, why are you back so late? Juan replied, Don't mention it. Something strange happened today. I planned to herd the cattle back earlier, but kept going in circles up the mountain. Couldn't find the way down. Only just got back. Really weird. As soon as Juan finished, Grandma's eyes widened. Juan, you just came down from the mountain? Juan nodded. Yeah, I was up there all day. Hearing this, Grandma's face changed dramatically and nearly fainted. Juan asked, Auntie, what's wrong? Grandma said, Juan, help me gather the villagers. Most likely, the water ghost killed Luke's grandpa. Juan's eyes widened. Don't panic, Auntie. I'll go get everyone right now. Then he rushed to the village for help. Grandma washed her face with water and told me, Luke, stay home, lock the door, and don't go out. I said, Grandma, let me go with you. I'm scared to stay home alone. What if the water ghost returns? She hesitated for a few seconds, but took me with her. Soon, the villagers arrived, carrying shovels and torches. Grandma led everyone toward the river at the foot of the mountain. If we hurried, maybe we could still save Grandpa, but we were too late. When we arrived, Grandpa was already dead, his body floating on the river. Clearly, he had died violently. The villagers gasped. Grandma fainted on the spot. The villagers called out several times before she came to. Juan said, Quick, pull the body out. A few young men went into the water but scrambled back in panic. Almost in unison, they shouted, There's an upright corpse in the river! It was too dark to see clearly. Those with torches moved closer. Sure enough, next to Grandpa's body floated a human head. It was the fish seller. The water covered his neck, leaving only the head above. His eyes were gone, leaving two black holes that stared fixedly at us on shore. The villagers froze and instinctively stepped back. Juan said, Auntie, upright corpses are full of resentment. Pulling it out now would be dangerous. Better wait until morning, Grandma said. That's all we can do. Grandpa's body soaked in the river all night. At dawn, the villagers gathered at the river again. Grandpa's body was still floating there, but the upright corpse had changed. Last night, the water only reached its neck. By morning, it was up to its shoulders. A sharp-eyed villager shouted, "It's Larry in the river!" Larry was from our village and close friends with my uncle. They both had good grades in school, but only my uncle got into college. Larry failed and stayed in the village selling fish with his grandfather. Later, Larry disappeared. Everyone thought he went to the city. No one expected him to turn up dead in the river, his eyes gouged out. Juan frowned. "Quick, call Aaron." Aaron lived halfway up the mountain and rarely came down. The young men hurried to fetch him. Soon they brought Aaron down in a donkey cart. His hair was snow white, easily over 100 years old. The villagers gathered around, begging him for help. Aaron said, "This upright corpse is full of resentment. If not dealt with within 3 days, it will come ashore." Grandma pleaded, "Aaron, my family has no grudge against Larry. My son, Carlos, and Larry were close. We even paid for Larry's grandfather's burial. Why would Larry harm my husband?" Aaron squinted. The upright corpse was murdered. He must have seen his killer before death, but his eyes were gouged and his ears were nailed shut, so he can't see or hear. To seek revenge, he needs a substitute. Your husband was unlucky and ran into him. Grandma wept. "Aaron, what do we do? We can't leave Luke's grandpa soaking in the water forever," Aaron said. "Of course not. If he stays too long, he'll become an upright corpse too. That would be worse." Then he added, "Have your grandson call him back." Grandma hesitated. "Aaron, Luke's only 5. Can he do it? Should we wait for my son Carlos?" Aaron shook his head. "If you wait for Carlos, your husband will be lost." Grandma gritted her teeth. "Luke, call for Grandpa to come back." Grandpa's face was pale after soaking overnight. He looked terrifying. I stood by the river and shouted, "Grandpa, come back! Grandpa, come back!" After 2 shouts, Grandpa's body didn't move. Aaron said, "Louder. Keep calling." I mustered my strength and yelled, "Grandpa, come back!" My voice echoed through the mountains. Right after, I saw Grandpa's body start moving, slowly drifting toward shore. I kept shouting, "Grandpa, come back!" He floated to the riverbank and stopped. Aaron said, "Quick, pull him out." A few brave young men lifted Grandpa onto shore. His body was soaked and stank of fish. Aaron said, "Take him home, set up the mourning hall, keep vigil for 3 days, and burn both the body and coffin afterward." Grandma nodded. "Thank you, Aaron." As soon as she finished, the villagers asked, "Aaron, what about Larry in the river? If he comes ashore, we'll all be in danger." Aaron squinted. "It's been raining heavily, full of yin energy. The upright corpse wants to use this to come ashore. To stop him, we must make him fear." Just then, a young man from the village stepped forward. The young man was Kyle, tall and muscular, holding a butcher knife. "What's there to fear about an upright corpse? I say we chop off his head. Without it, he can't cause trouble." Kyle finished speaking and moved to enter the river, but the villagers stopped him. Kyle got angry. "You're all scared of the corpse. I'm not." With that, he waded into the river with his knife. Strangely, the shallow river deepened rapidly as he entered. After only a few steps, the water reached his shoulders. The villagers shouted, "Come back!" Kyle's face grew panicked. He tried to turn back but couldn't move. The water had risen to his neck. In fear, Kyle shouted, "Aaron, save me!" Aaron shook his head. "Once you're in the water, I can't help." The water quickly rose over Kyle's head as he struggled, then disappeared beneath the surface. The villagers stared wide-eyed, full of panic. Aaron sighed. "For these next 3 days, no one approached the river. Stay home." After saying that, he pulled out a red string from his sleeve, with copper coins attached. Aaron tied it around a large tree, sealing off the riverbank. I'll guard the river these few days. You all go home. The villagers exchanged glances but followed Aaron's advice and went home. Several young men carried my grandpa's body back. My grandma bought a coffin and placed my grandpa inside. I knelt before him, kowtowing, while Grandma burned spirit money. That night, my uncle rushed back from the city. "Mom, how did Dad die so suddenly?" Seeing him return, Grandma broke down crying. "Carlos, your father was killed by a water ghost." My uncle froze for a few seconds. "A water ghost? Impossible. There's no such thing as water ghosts," Grandma sobbed. "It was a water ghost. And not just anyone, it was Larry." At her words, my uncle collapsed to the ground, terror filling his eyes, his voice trembling. "Mom, who did you say?" Grandma cried. "It's Larry." My uncle's eyes widened. He muttered, "How could Larry become a water ghost? That's impossible." Then he turned to Grandma. "Mom, why didn't you tell me sooner how Dad died?" Grandma said, "What good would it have done?" As soon as she spoke, my uncle's face changed. "If you'd told me earlier, I wouldn't have come back. Water ghosts bring nothing but bad luck. No, I'm leaving now." Grabbing his luggage, my uncle tried to leave. Grandma quickly blocked him. "It's raining tonight. You can't go." Aaron said that on rainy nights, resentment is strong, and water ghosts come ashore for substitutes. If you leave now, you might run into one. My uncle stomped his feet angrily. "I don't care. Even if knives were falling from the sky, I'd still go. Mom, if you want me alive, don't stop me." Grandma looked at him, confused. "Carlos, what do you mean? I'm doing this for your own good," my uncle snapped. "You don't understand anything. Stay out of my way." With that, he stormed out of the yard. Grandma chased after him, pulling his arm. "It's already dark. Even if you leave, wait until morning. It's not safe at night." My uncle's face was grim. "I won't stay another minute. If you're worried, hitch up the donkey cart and take me to town. If not, I'll walk." With his strength, he easily shook off Grandma's hand. Left with no choice, Grandma hitched the cart and let him get on. "Drive faster," my uncle urged. I was too scared to stay home alone, so I climbed onto the cart too. Grandma drove us toward the village entrance. The road was eerily quiet. Everyone was hiding inside, too afraid to come out. Grandma sighed. "Carlos, just wait until morning. Why rush?" My uncle snapped. "Stop nagging. I have to leave tonight." Just as he finished, we heard footsteps ahead. When we reached the village entrance, we saw Aaron sitting beneath a tree. "Didn't I tell everyone to stay inside? Why are you out here?" Grandma said, "Carlos insists on going back to the city. Aaron, please talk to him." My uncle coldly replied, "No need, I'm leaving tonight." Aaron said, "The upright corpse has already come ashore and is heading toward the village entrance. If you leave now, you'll run into it." My uncle's face changed. "Aaron, aren't you supposed to have skills? How did you let it come ashore?" Aaron warned. "Carlos, you'd better be careful. The upright corpse is out for revenge." My uncle frowned, staring into the pitch-black woods ahead. "Aaron, take me to town. Name your price." My uncle had made some money in the city. Aaron shook his head. "If I leave, the villagers will be in danger." "I can't," Grandma said. "Carlos, listen, just leave tomorrow." My uncle asked, "Can I leave tomorrow?" Aaron shook his head. "The upright corpse came ashore tonight. I'll do my best to stop it. By morning, it'll return to the river. If it's sunny, you can leave. If it rains, you can't." My uncle was furious, stomping his feet. "So basically, I can't leave at all." Aaron squinted, saying nothing. My uncle stared into the dark woods, his eyes full of fear. "Let's go home." Grandma finally breathed a sigh of relief. "Thank you, Aaron." Aaron replied, "Don't thank me. It's hard to say if this will end well." Then he muttered, "Larry died miserably." "Pitiful," my uncle snorted. "He killed my father. He got what he deserved." After speaking, my uncle told Grandma to drive home. As we returned, a loud thunderclap shook the sky. Heavy rain poured down, the wind howled, and low clouds loomed. The candles in the morning hall were blown out. Just then, I heard movement from the coffin Grandpa's voice. "Run!" After those words, he made a choking sound like drawing his last breath. My uncle's face hardened. "It's turning into a corpse puppet. Close the coffin." He and Grandma quickly sealed the coffin and rushed into the east room. Grandma asked, "Carlos, how's life in the city?" My uncle coldly replied, "Terrible." Grandma paused. "Why terrible?" My uncle sneered. "Poor. Can't afford anything. All I can do is look." Grandma frowned. "Take some money when you leave this time. We received some condolence money for your father. Spend it wisely." My uncle pouted and replied coldly, "Got it." Then he lay down on the heated bed and fell asleep. The next morning, the rain still poured, flooding the yard. "It's daylight now. I'm going to town," my uncle said. Grandma reminded, "Aaron said not to travel in the rain. Water ghosts roam on gloomy days." "Nonsense. I don't believe water ghosts appear in broad daylight. I'm not afraid. Let's go." Grandma frowned. "Wait until the rain stops." My uncle refused. "No, we're going now." "Mom, why do you trust Aaron so much? What if he wants to harm me?" Grandma froze. "Why would Aaron harm you?" "We have no grudge. Aaron had moved here about half a year after Larry's grandfather died. My uncle said, I don't know why, but I feel uneasy at home, like someone wants to harm me." Grandma frowned. "Carlos, you used to be close to Larry. Now you don't care he's dead?" My uncle sneered. "We lost touch years ago. Why should I care? I just want to leave." Then he went to hitch up the cart. "I'll ask Aaron again. If he says yes, I'll let you go." Grandma frowned. My uncle darkened his face. "Even if Aaron says no, I'm leaving." Grandma drove the cart to the village entrance. Aaron was still there, pale, with blood at the corner of his mouth. Grandma asked, "Aaron, what happened to you?" Aaron answered gloomily, "I encountered the upright corpse. Almost got killed." My uncle asked, "Where is it?" Aaron said, "In the river." My uncle continued, "If I go to town now, will it follow?" Aaron squinted. "The corpse has found its eyes. It knows who killed him. Even if you flee to the ends of the earth, it will come for you." Hearing this, my uncle's face changed. You're lying." His eyes were gouged out. How could he find them? Aaron smiled. "If you don't believe me, let's go to the river." My uncle replied, "Fine. Let's see." In broad daylight, I doubt it dares act, Aaron said. "Let's go." Grandma grabbed my uncle. "Carlos, don't go. It's creepy." Aaron said, "If he wants to see, let him. With me there, nothing major will happen. Once he sees it, he won't dare run off and will stay home." Grandma nodded. All right. We all headed to the river in the rain. Sure enough, Larry was still there. Larry now had a pair of murky eyes that didn't look like his. They resembled an old man's, as if they'd been taken from someone else and placed in his sockets. The water only reached his knees. Above that, his body floated eerily. With eyes now in place, Larry stared directly at us, sending chills down our spines. My uncle took one glance and started trembling. "Let's go, hurry!" As he spoke, Larry's head tilted left, and a creepy smile appeared. My uncle screamed in terror. Grandma tried to grab him, but he pushed her away, crying, "Larry, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have stolen from you. Please don't kill me. It was my father's fault, not mine. Please, spare me." My uncle collapsed, wailing. Grandma said, "Aaron, do something. Larry's coming ashore." Aaron frowned. "Don't be afraid. He won't die." He pulled out a talisman and handed it to my uncle. "Stick this on your door. The corpse won't enter. At dawn, when it's sunny, flee the city and never return." My uncle kowtowed in gratitude and scrambled home. Grandma and I hurried after him. Back home, my uncle collapsed onto the bed, gulping down water. It was still raining outside. He stuck the talisman on the west room door. "I'll sleep in the west room tonight. You stay in the east room." Grandma frowned. "Carlos, let's stay together." "Luke's too young. What if something happens?" My uncle shouted, "You don't understand! I'm sleeping in the west room!" With that, he locked himself inside. Grandma sighed, her eyes welling up. That night, the rain grew heavier. Thunder rumbling. The thunder woke me. I peeked out the window and saw a shadow climbing out of the well. It looked like a person. Another thunderclap lit up the night. I clearly saw it was Larry, soaked and standing at the west room door. Before I could react, Larry entered the west room. The talisman was useless. Soon, I heard my uncle's screams from inside. Grandma woke from the screams, rushed to the west room, but fainted at the doorway. I saw pale hands stretch out from the west room. Larry emerged. Terrified he'd spot me, I hid in the corner, not daring to make a sound. I wasn't sure if Larry had left. I stayed awake all night. At dawn, I finally dared to move. I woke Grandma. Inside the west room, my uncle was dead. His body looked wrung dry, blood pooling beneath him. His eyes were gouged out, iron nails pinned behind his ears. Grandma fainted again and was woken by the villagers. There was nothing we could do. My uncle was dead. Since he died violently and full of resentment, he had to be burned along with Grandpa. After my uncle's death, Aaron disappeared. Even the corpse in the river was gone. Fearing more trouble, Grandma took me to the city. We never returned to the village.